Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Schifferbooks.com is the website here on the side. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle Cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Alright. Yep. And the website is rockpoolpublishing.com.au is an apple, use an umbrella. I also use dice. I have a 22-sided dice. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. And I use a 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element. This is where they came from. I want to say this is Math Art Fun, the dice shop, mathartfun.com. Hopefully you can read that if you want to read that. Alright. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? Alright, let's get them all down before we get too excited. Oh. So, that's it? That's it. Okay. Only 3 oracle cards, that's fine. Let's see what we got. So, what is coming forward is a good question. Somebody has... Is this somebody else? Because I feel like this is somebody else. Let's just be sure. So, somebody else moved on from something they didn't like, and they moved towards you. It could be romance, doesn't have to be. Could be a job opportunity. Could be a friendship. I feel like for a lot of you this has something to do with work. Somebody left something they didn't like and came towards you. They had a lot of energy, a lot of interest, a lot of strength. They made this choice. It was them who chose to move towards you. Whatever this is. Now, when this happened, and currently, it seems like you like this person, and there's a lot of social connections with you and this person together. Like, you know a lot of the same people. There's some type of social connection with you and this person in mind. So if it was a work connection, like, you probably work on the same team, or you deal with the same people, stuff like that. Very strong social connection. I do feel like you very much like this person too. And I think you've even like taken some advice from them. But they've given you good advice. There's all these 3 cards want to come in at once is what I'm getting. They've given you some good advice. It's advice that's not easy for you to take, but it's always proved to be the right way or the better way. It's always had its advantage, for lack of better reasoning. Like, they tell you what they think, they tell you how they would do it, they give you advice on what they think you should do. They've given you really good advice, more than not. And you've moved forward with it, you've done what you could with it. It's not always the easiest road to take that they choose, but it's always been the most beneficial. Very sound advice, very good advice. Conflict. A lot of conflict. It might be more internal conflict where, like, do I really want to do that? Is this going to be a problem for me? If I do that, are people going to give me a hard time? Conflicts like that. So, like, what else is coming from this is a good question. Because you seem to be very solid with this situation. But there's also a question of loyalty coming in, too. With this whole situation, at least up to this point, it feels like I could make the decision. I also felt like I could go a different direction if I really wanted to, even though I feel like you've been very bonded with this person. I did feel like I could make another decision. I could distance myself from this fairly easily up until the current moment, and it seems like I'm getting tighter in with this energy, much tighter in with this. There's advice coming in from somebody else. Okay. 8 of Cups reversed in the Judgment question. This energy's coming in, it's the Star card. It's an air card. Can sometimes talk about an Aquarius. This doesn't have to be an Aquarius person, but some type of traits where you can talk with this person and get along with them. They probably further your explanations, or they further your interest, or they further your knowledge of a subject, stuff like that. They're helping you find more ways to do something. So even though you're getting tighter with this original person, this is a different energy. Might be contrary to the one that you're already bonded with. So that might be like one of those instances where I like the person I've been bonded with for all this time. I like the new person coming towards me, but they don't seem to like each other. Might be one of those things. Now, as we keep moving forward, the connection between those two people is becoming more of an issue. Having both of these people in your life becomes more and more stressful because they really don't get along, and they might even go at each other when they're in the same room. In some sense, might be verbally, might be more. They might be giving each other a hard time. Now this is weird, so I'm just trying to be careful with it. What they're saying to do when this becomes more stressful is to not make a choice. You're going to have the need to kind of like solve this on your own and try to, since they won't get along, I feel like I have this need to kind of like, maybe I need to choose between one or the other. The ironic energy here is saying don't do that. Okay. To get the best outcome for you, okay, so it's the Ace of Pentacles and it's the gratitude. The first place to start is to remind each of these people what you like about them. And then highlighting what you like about the other carefully. Like if there's two people you're dealing with, highlight what you like about each of them and then highlight what you like about the other to that other person. Like, person A and person B don't get along. I like person A for this reason, and I'm telling person A. I like person B for this reason, and I'm telling person B. Then I'm telling person A, hey, you know what? I know you don't care for person B, but I do, and this is why. Same thing with person B. I know you don't care for person A, this is why I do, and this is why. And then let them know that you're not willing to be put in this position where they make it difficult for you anymore. If you have to be the one to delegate to like mediate this, you're just gonna if it's one of those situations where they're both in the room at the same time, you're gonna leave that room. And you're gonna be like, whatever you guys do, that's on you. I'm just gonna step out of it. Otherwise, I'm not willing to exit my connection to either of you. You're adults, you should be working it out yourselves. I'll just separate when I handle the two of you. Like, I'll do like one thing with you, one thing with the other thing, and I'll do it separately. I'm not going to choose one or the other. I don't think that's fair. I don't think I should be pushed like that. You should be able to find a way to deal with each other with some rational sense. They're saying, the energy here is saying don't choose. These people have the ability to get along better. They have the ability to do better. But if you choose one over the other, they won't make that advancement. They won't make that emotional advancement. If you simply say, I'm not going to be a part of that anymore, it's on you two to deal it out yourself, I'm not going to be in the middle of it anymore, it brings down the stress level for you, but it also forces them to work it out themselves. Ironically, I do feel it working that way. There's some fire energy and some earth energy coming in here. I feel like they start to realize that the problem isn't right, you shouldn't be stuck in the middle of it. And when they have to deal it out themselves, I feel like they do actually come to a quicker resolution. Doesn't mean it's the right one, but they do. And they start balancing it out on their own. It's kind of like one of those things where, you know, for me in my own life, it's just like you don't like certain people, but you're like they're there. So you're just careful what you say, and you're just careful not to listen too closely, because it's like I don't want to think about it too much, because if I think about what you're saying, I know you're full of crap. But I just won't call it out, and if I don't pay attention, it doesn't matter. So you just stay out of it. They'll work it out. This is also telling me, it says psychic conversations, which is self-explanatory, but I feel like these people might be able to kind of deal with each other by reading the body language of each other, or they might also react to the body language of the other. It's kind of like maybe like once in a while, like nobody said anything, but all of a sudden they're at each other's throats. It wasn't because anybody said anything, it's just because somebody gave somebody a dirty look or just seemed to be annoyed with something. They're going to have to figure out their own body language. I know it says psychic conversation, but I keep thinking body language, so I'm going to go with that. This situation, they're saying, don't choose one over the other. Don't feel like you have to mediate this. Don't feel like you have to be the one that kind of brings in the peace. It's not working in this situation. Are you a great mediator? Yes. But if people just refuse to play along or refuse to work with you on it, you're going to be ineffective. Not to your choice, but to their choice. Keep that in mind. So if you step out and stop mediating for them, they have to work it out themselves. Take that with a grain of salt. Like, this won't work for every situation. Make sure that this reading makes sense for you. And the reason I'm saying this is, like, if you're a manager and you have 2 employees that aren't getting along, maybe have them work it out with HR. You don't have to be in the middle of it. Just kind of say, you know, HR, I've been trying for months to get them to work well. It's not working. So I want to take this to the next level and make them work it out with HR and go that level. I wouldn't just leave them to rip each other apart. If they're coworkers and you're a manager, I'm just saying, you know, look at this in a sensible way. It might also be where they're saying, don't put this on your shoulders to figure out their problem. Either if it's applicable, have them work it out themselves. If it's not applicable, put somebody else in that role to mediate it out, because they're not wanting to work with you on this. And I just feel it's just not working. This just may not be your flavor. Hopefully that doesn't sound insulting, because, like, you know, if you're a violin player, you're not going to be good at the drums. I'm just saying. Well, you could be, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you're a violin player but not a singer, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I mean? I feel like you know what I'm saying. Like, this isn't your problem to fix. This isn't going to work for you. Even though you are highly intelligent, some people are just not going to jive the way you jive. And sometimes they're just contrary to be contrary. So if you get somebody else in there, if that's what it needs to be, then take it to that next level. Because it's like, whatever the situation is, it's not like you haven't tried by the time you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much again for watching, and have a great day.